Look around you. The world is loud, depraved, overstimulated, and obsessed with distraction. Everything is designed to steal your attention. Notifications, endless scrolling, flashing ads, constant noise. Even the people around you, friends, co-workers, strangers, are often part of the distraction machine. And here's the brutal truth. If you can't control your focus, you've already lost the game. Your focus is your life. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you let the world hijack it, don't be surprised when your dreams dissolve and you're left wondering what happened to your time. But if you learn to master focus, you'll do more in 1 year than most people do in 10. The good news, focus is a skill. It's not reserved for monks in the mountains or billionaires with personal assistants. It's available to you right now in this messy, overstimulated world. You don't need perfect conditions to focus. You need principles. Here are 4 ways to stay locked in and unstoppable, even when the world tries to pull you apart. 1. Build ruthless boundaries against distraction. Let's start with the obvious. You can't focus if you're drowning in distractions. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they're constantly interrupted. They live in reaction mode, letting every notification, every DM, every buzz on their phone dictate what they do next. Disgraceful. You need to build walls around your focus, boundaries that protect your attention like it's sacred, because it is. Start with your phone. If you're serious, you don't need 50 notifications lighting up your screen every hour. Turn them off. Set up Do Not Disturb for blocks of time where nothing gets through except the essentials. You'll be shocked at how much mental space this creates. And it's not just digital distractions. You also need boundaries with people. That friend who always calls to gossip, the co-worker who drags you into endless small talk, the family member who interrupts every time you sit down to work. They're not evil, but they're stealing your life. You don't owe everyone instant access to your attention. Learn to say, "I'll call you later. I'm busy." Protect your focus like it's gold. Remember this. Most of the noise in your life isn't urgent, it's just loud. Don't confuse volume with importance. Build ruthless boundaries, and you'll finally create the quiet you need to do real work. 2. Master boring consistency in a world addicted to stimulation. The world worships stimulation. Bright colors, quick videos, dopamine hits every 3 seconds. People are hooked on the thrill of novelty. That's why most never achieve anything, because real achievement comes from doing boring, consistent work when nobody's clapping for you. The truth is, greatness looks boring from the inside. Waking up at the same time, sitting down at your desk every day, repeating reps in the gym, writing the next paragraph, making the next call, sending the next email. Nothing glamorous, no flashing lights, just boring consistency stacked day after day. This is why so many people fail. They crave the dopamine rush, the feeling of constant excitement. But success isn't about excitement. It's about endurance. It's about staying steady when everyone else gets distracted by the next shiny thing. Here's the key. Fall in love with the boring process. Make peace with repetition. Create daily routines that happen automatically without negotiation. Because once focus becomes habit, you don't waste energy debating whether to do the work. You just do it. Think of the athlete running drills at 5 a.m. while everyone else sleeps. Think of the writer typing for 2 hours every day, even when the words come slow. Think of the entrepreneur sending emails when nobody's responding. That's boring consistency. That's focus. And that's the road to breakthroughs. 3. Build an anti-fragile mindset against overstimulation. Here's the thing about living in an overstimulated world. You can't escape it completely. The billboards, the ads, the noise, it's everywhere. But you don't need to escape it. You need to become anti-fragile. That means the chaos doesn't break your focus, it strengthens it. How? By training your brain to handle discomfort without running to distraction. Most people can't focus because the second they feel bored or restless, they reach for their phone. They treat discomfort like an emergency. But boredom is not an emergency, it's a doorway. On the other side of that boredom is deep work, creativity, clarity. You need to rewire your response. Next time you feel restless, don't grab the phone, sit with it. Train your brain to stay with the discomfort until it dissolves. Meditate for 10 minutes. Go for a walk without headphones. Journal instead of scrolling. Build tolerance for stillness. Here's a brutal truth. If you can't sit alone with your own thoughts for 15 minutes, don't expect to build anything great. Because greatness requires solitude, patience, and the ability to resist overstimulation. Once you build this mindset, the noise of the world won't shake you. You'll be the calm in the storm. While everyone else is scattered and overstimulated, you'll be locked in, laser-focused, and unshakable. That's the power of becoming anti-fragile. 4. Obsessively follow through until it's finished. This is where most people fail. They start strong, get excited, post motivational quotes, maybe even grind for a week or two. Then life gets loud, distractions creep in, and they quit. Disgraceful. Starting is easy. Following through is rare. Your focus means nothing without follow-through. You can plan, you can dream, you can write lists. But if you don't finish, it's wasted energy. The world doesn't reward almost. Nobody remembers the person who nearly wrote a book, nearly launched a business, nearly got in shape. Almost doesn't count. Follow-through is about staying in the game long after the hype dies. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, when nobody's watching, when it's boring and uncomfortable. That's where the real work happens. Anyone can get fired up for a few days. The rare few push past that point and keep going. Think about it. The difference between the masses and the top 1% isn't talent, luck, or even opportunity. It's follow-through. The masses start, stall, and quit. The focused finish, and finishing is everything. So don't just chase the thrill of beginnings. Build the discipline to see things through. Lock in, cut excuses, and finish what you start. Because in the end, nobody asks how many times you began. They only care about what you delivered. And that's the line between average and unforgettable, the power of follow-through. Here's a trick. Make quitting harder than finishing. Set public deadlines. Tell your closest friend your exact goal and give them permission to hold you accountable. Write a check you'll lose if you don't deliver. Build systems that force you to finish, no matter what. And when the time comes, deliver big. Don't leave things half done. Don't settle for good enough. Push until the work is finished, polished, undeniable. That's how you build momentum. That's how you make outsiders say, "Wow, they're so lucky." But luck had nothing to do with it. It was focus plus follow-through. We live in a depraved, distracted, overstimulated world, but that's no excuse. You can complain about how hard it is to focus, or you can rise above the noise and take control. The choice is yours. Focus isn't about having perfect conditions. It's about creating discipline in imperfect conditions. It's about protecting your attention, embracing boring consistency, building an anti-fragile mind, and following through until the end. Do these 4 things, and you'll be unstoppable. Most people will drift through life distracted, overstimulated, unfocused, wondering why nothing changes. But not you, because you know the truth. Focus is the ultimate superpower. And in a world where everyone is scattered, the person who can focus will always win. Remember, you are 1 year of ruthless focus away from outsiders saying you got lucky. But you'll know it wasn't luck. It was boundaries, consistency, resilience, and follow-through. It was sweat. It was grind. It was you. So shut out the noise, cut the distractions, lock in on what matters. And when the world asks how you did it, just smile. Because they'll never understand how much focus it really took. Until next time, stay sharp, stay ruthless, stay focused.